In a large mixer bowl, sift together 56 grams or around a half cup of coconut flour, 10 grams or around 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 9 grams or around 1 tablespoon of instant dry yeast. This is optional. I just add it for a yeast flavor in my bread. If you want to, you can add some dry seasonings to give your bread a little bit more flavor. I added 1 teaspoon of dry Italian seasoning and a half teaspoon of garlic powder. Sift the dry ingredients together until they're combined and there are no lumps, then set it aside for a minute. In a food processor, combine 226 grams or around 1 cup of cottage cheese. I used small curd 4% cottage cheese. You can use any cottage cheese you want. Add 2 large eggs. Pulse the cottage cheese and the eggs just a couple times to begin combining them. Then process for about 20 to 30 seconds or until the mixture is smooth. You can stop and scrape down the sides of the processor bowl as needed. Take the bowl with your dry ingredients and turn your mixer onto medium-low. Then gradually add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. Allow the wet and dry ingredients to beat together after each addition. Once the dry and wet ingredients are combined, then beat together for about 20 to 30 seconds more or until a smooth, sticky dough forms. Again, you can stop and scrape down the sides of the mixer bowl as needed. If you want to, you can fold in some finely chopped jalapenos. Scrape down the sides of your mixer bowl and push the dough to the center of the bowl in somewhat of a ball shape. Then allow the dough to sit at room temperature for about 10 minutes to absorb some of the extra moisture. After 10 minutes, your dough is going to be still a little bit damp and sticky, but shouldn't stick to your fingers. Line a 7-inch round cake pan with parchment paper or a silicone baking mat. Press your dough evenly throughout your prepared pan. Top the dough with your desired amount of sliced jalapeno rings. Then place the bread in your preheated oven. Bake at 375 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes or until the bread is golden around the edges and a tester comes out clean. Once the bread is done baking, remove it from the oven. Sprinkle your desired amount of shredded cheese over the top of the bread. Then place it back into the oven at 375 degrees and bake another 5 minutes or until the cheese is melted. Once the cheese is melted, remove the bread from the oven and allow it to cool in the pan for at least 15 minutes so it can firm up. After 15 minutes, remove the bread from the pan and transfer it to a wire rack. You can cut this immediately into your desired size slices and serve this warm, or you can allow it to cool to room temperature and serve it at room temperature.